Good evening.
Hi. I delivered the PowerPoint presentation to you. I decided to hand it out rather than to use a projector. It seemed a little more informal.
Thank you.
There are 18 pages in it, but I'm only going to make you look at 9, and we'll go through them fairly quickly. So I'm hoping to make best use of your time.
Thank you.
I also want to thank you for letting us have a little time. I believe the Marblehead community is extremely blessed to have so many volunteer organizations around, and a lot of them sort of fly a little bit under the radar. So we've had a recent accomplishment, and we thought maybe it was a good time to tell you about that, but also to tell you a little bit about what we do, so you're aware of it. So without further ado, I want to start on page 2, which is, this is two-sided. The page numbers are in the lower corner, lower right corner, I guess. The accomplishment I mentioned was, we've been doing this, the work we do, the Marblehead Conservancy, for over, a little over 15 years, almost 16. And we've recently achieved 20,000 hours of boots on the ground type trail work. We have meetings and we go to town offices and negotiate with people and work deals and stuff. That's not included in the 27. It's when we're out cutting invasives and rerouting trails and all that sort of stuff. So we wanted to share that with you. Well, who is the Marblehead?
It is.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
The Marblehead Conservancy was formed to help protect natural open spaces. Natural open spaces as distinct from manicured open spaces. Athletic fields, the parks, we don't get involved in too much, but in fact, mostly what we get involved in are lands owned by the Conservation Commission, not exclusively, but and we also were formed in part because the Conservation Commission has very, very limited budget resources. And people don't think that it takes money to maintain natural open space forests and things like that. But it does. We have invasives, and the trails that go through them get overgrown and have trees fall down and things. And so we've taken over that pretty much in support of the Conservation Commission. We're a nonprofit, and we raise our own money. We have members, 350 members, and they contribute. Well, this year was just a little over $25,000. We also did a fundraiser and established a fund that started at $100,000, but it's grown since then. Every year we take about $5,000 out of it to help our operating budget. So we've got a resource. Page 4, that was 3. The Marblehead Conservancy overall looks after land, but we've got sort of some divisions. We have an education division which does a bunch of, our department, I guess in town you call them departments. That has done a bunch of events, anywhere from having speakers to perambulating the trails, the byways between houses, that little nooks and crannies all over town. And we've got the trails group, which I represent tonight. We maintain 5 miles of trails, mostly in conservation land, 120 acres of conservation land. And if you turn over on the land part of this, yeah, of course, we have had significant portions of the campaign to get the Robinson Farm and also the lead mills. In fact, we sort of started this whole thing by pointing out to Becky and some other people about the availability of the land, and worked with Bain, and we were pleased to have Essex County Greenbelt really take a leadership role. They're very much more into land acquisition and these kind of things than we are. But we ourselves raised $62,000 because Salem would not buy their piece of the land. So we raised the money to give Salem to buy their piece of the land. All right, so I want to go from 5 to 13. Trails. We as I said, maintain about 5 miles of trails. Here's a list of them. The conservation ones, maybe you know about, some you might not. Turner Woods is an obscure little place across from Coffin School. And some of these are sort of hidden. Ware Pond, you may not know about. It's not far from Oliver's Pond, but I would like to offer anybody that wants a tour of any of these places, I'd be happy to take them, or some of our group. By the way, we've got a group here too. Just about everybody sitting down there is Trails Committee and Conservancy Board people. We do one Rec and Park piece of property, you know, Seaside Park, where the grandstands and the baseball field. Well, behind that is a big forest, and we maintain that forest for them and the trails in it. And the schools, what was once upon a time called Germain Farm, is next to the Robinson Farm and also adjacent to the big athletic fields at the village school. So it sort of fits in there. It's got a lot of wetlands in it, and the school department probably can't ever use it for building or athletic fields. So we maintain it as part of the Robinson Farm facility, and we have big loop trails that go around the whole place and cut invasives and do our usual stuff. You see that little patch in the bottom right-hand corner? That was in the Reporter about 2 weeks ago, I think, December 15th. It was very cute.
Where's that?
Right here,
Oh,
like a haiku.
oh, I see.
Yeah, I
Oh, a letter,
A
okay.
haiku.
And I looked him up in the nosy book. I couldn't find him, so I wanted to call him and thank him, but he's off the radar. All right, page 14. This page number is sort of down in the picture, but here's an example. You know, we've got lots of trails, 5 miles of them. In our first 6 or 7 years, we really went through them and sort of recreated them and rerouted some of them and sort of made them more logical and how they fit together. But there's always these kinds of problems. Snow load gets on a dead branch and brings it down, and we cut it up and put it aside. If they get really big, Doug Gordon and the tree department will come. Page 15. Here's some examples of the things we do in trail work. Obviously, we're clearing and improving trails, but in fact, I would have done item, if I'd have thought about this more, I'd done item 3 first. We move approximately an acre of invasives every year. We have lots of invasives. I would say at least 1/3 of the forested land has invasives, some level of invasives growing. What invasives do is they just take over everything. They grow so fast, they just overarch everything and kill them, because they get all the sun and the thing underneath doesn't. So we remove, and that's what we do in the winter. We send out trail crews twice a week, every week, all year long. In the winter, we can't do as much trail work because the ground is frozen and there may be snow on it. But we can cut invasives, and it's a good time to get rid of invasives because the leaves are gone and we can see where they go in the ground and cut them off the right spot. When they're all leaved out, it's just a big mess. You can't see where it goes into the ground. So that's what we're doing now. In fact, we're cutting bamboo today.
Where?
Bamboo.
Ware Pond.
That's hard to
Oh,
cut, isn't
at
it?
Ware.
It's hard to cut.
Yeah.
It wears a chainsaw blade down in about 30 minutes. You have to put a new chainsaw blade on. Tough stuff. A lady had a garden, and when she died, she knew how to maintain it, but the new owners of the house didn't. And so it's, I would say there's 10,000 square feet of bamboo within feet of Ware Pond.
I
So
didn't
we're
even
trying to
know
get rid of it.
grew around here.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it does. In fact, pandas, the bamboo they eat is in there's snow on the ground.
High mountains, yeah.
They go through winter. Anyway, so we plant native trees and shrubs in the areas we've cleared. That's the 200 trees a year and shrubs. We remove a lot of trash. Actually, it's going down a little every year
That's good.
because we've removed some of it, and so it doesn't collect, you know, some of it's been there for years. And we've spread over we normally spread around 75 cubic yards of wood chips. The reason we spread those on the trails is they help control erosion. The trail is on a hill and water runs down it and it washes the soil away. With the wood chips, it sort of keeps the water away from the soil. 16, last one. Another thing we do that I think is pretty cool is publications. There's lots of different ones, but the one I wanted to talk about in particular tonight are maps. You take one and pass, and after you do that, take one of these and pass. We partnered with the U.S. Forest Service to make maps of most of our open spaces, natural open spaces. You see a picture of one of them there, Forest River. And we've recently, there's 3 that aren't in that list, so we've almost completed those 3. So we have trail maps like you see there, like you're being handed out on our website. Anybody can download them anytime they want. We have the fold-out map, which you also got, the color one. Those can be purchased. I think it's $5 at the Farmers Market in the Spirit 76. And we also have, at 9 trail entrances in town, the one you've actually unfolded, it's got a map in it, but it's got a bunch of other stuff. No, the other one. I handed them all out, so I can't.
This
This
one?
one?
That one. We've got those
one?
posted, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
those posted at 9 different entrances to trails around town, so that when people enter them, they can pick one of those up and
Oh,
find out
like
where
here.
it's going.
Like this.
And that, yes, there's the dispenser, right, on the lower portion. And those are printed on waterproof paper, so you can even take them in the rain. We have various volunteers, some of them neighbors, some of them in our own committees, keeping those boxes full. They've been there for 6 or 7 years, and I think we've put 1,500, 1,700 maps in those things over the years. So, I think that's most of what I wanted to say. I thank you very much for your time. I didn't time it.
Thank you
It's
very much for
amazing.
your time.
You're
This is
welcome.
an amazing, I'm so glad you brought this to our attention in this way.
Great,
Don,
yes.
where can people pick these up?
Well, there's not, let's see.
Just Spirit of
I
76.
didn't make a
You-
list.
you said the
No, the
Spirit
Spirit
of
of 76 is the color one.
It's the colored one.
Tan one. Well, first of all, you can get the map on the inside,
Well,
every
t-
one of them on our website.
Well, no, and that's not what I'm looking for.
You're looking for a paper one?
No, I'm looking for the opportunity for people to be able to join the
Oh,
membership.
membership.
Oh,
So I think maybe this might be your opportunity to tell people what the levels are and that they can contribute. I mean,
see.
you're on TV, there are people watching.
I
it,
see.
And maybe the reporter will make note of it.
our membership materials are also available on our website. In fact, we have an online, we do, don't we? An online, you can donate now thing. If you're not an online kind of person, our membership guy is Dick Marcy. His address is 20 Churchill Road.
That's right.
He'd be glad to send one of these out to you.
But do you have them at the library and do you have them in those?
Just the trail entrances.
Oh,
They can go to it, if they find a trail entrance, one of those boxes in that picture.
Right, because I mean, for an individual member for $25, that's nothing.
Well, it's something to us.
Well, no, I mean, it's, yeah. No, I mean, for.
It's pretty cheap.
For people that are watching tonight and didn't realize and appreciate, they might happy to do it, and then they can, and if you're over 70, it's only $10.
Most of us are on this committee now. We were younger when we started.
But thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you all very much.
Thank
It's
you.
really terrific.
Great presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Don.
Thanks, Don.